2023 BMW 760iX Drive, overshadowed by the i7 but still much improved. Part 2. Another option is a 31-inch video screen that can deploy from the ceiling to provide entertainment for the rear passengers. Although the image is a non-standard format, 30 inches wide by 9 inches high, movies can either be stretched or letter boxed. And if there's only one rear passenger, the image can be shifted to either side. The small touchscreens in both rear doors control the device. By the way, these doors as well as the front ones can open and close with push-button power operation, if specified. For all of the emphasis on luxury, this largest of BMW sedans still performs well when pushed on a twisty road. There's plenty of power at all speeds, the brakes are strong, and while the steering isn't the most communicative we've ever felt, it is accurate with a solid sense of on-center. The electric power steering varies the steering ratio with the steering angle, and the 760 gets rear wheel steering standard. Neither function is perceptible at the steering wheel rim. All of the new 7 Series models come with air springs and adaptive dampers, and the suspension automatically gets tauter as your speed increases. Select Sport mode, and the ride height drops 0.4 inch, and the dampers get even tauter. If equipped with the optional 48-volt active anti-roll system, body roll is also reduced. The steering also gets substantially heavier, and muddier, as if the friction had been increased. Oddly, we didn't notice this behavior on the i7. There's a total of 7 drive modes to choose from, but several of them are focused on creating light and sound effects to match, or possibly, enhance your mood. No bucks up new car comes to market without some new automation features, and the 7 is no exception. The Highway Assistant, part of the Driving Assistance Professional package, allows you to drive on highways, hands-free, at up to 80 miles per hour. The road must be fairly straight, the lanes well marked, and you must be looking out the windshield. A camera is watching, but when all conditions are met, the car will drive precisely in the center of its lane for long periods. If you flick the turn signal, the 760i will even change lanes for you, provided it's safe to do so. The Parking Assistant Professional function can also memorize a parking path as long as 650 feet and reproduce it at will. This means that if you have a tortuous driveway or a tight underground parking garage that requires multiple forward and reverse maneuvers, you can teach the car once and then sit back and relax as it undertakes the laborious parking under the driver's watchful eye. The iDrive system now understands a wider range of voice commands in a more natural language. Thanks to more microphones and speaker integration in the 7 Series, rear seat passengers can also easily make phone calls. An interior camera can be activated to remotely check the car interior for missing items and such. And it is automatically activated when the anti-theft alarm is triggered. Although we didn't drive the 740i, it shares most of the new features of the 760i, including the 48-volt hybrid system, and it also gains about 2 mpg in the EPA ratings. Its 3.0-liter inline-6 adds 40 horsepower to the last model's output for a total of 375. A plug-in hybrid 7 based on this engine but offering even more power will arrive a few months after the first 2 models, which will hit the showrooms before the end of the year. All of this comes at a price, $114,595 for the 760iX Drive, $94,295 for the 740i. Those figures are up a hefty $6,000 minus $10K over the outgoing models, but inflation headlines provide cover for raising prices, and the standard equipment has increased. Keep in mind, BMW has put many of the more desirable options into packages, no doubt carefully crafted to run the price tags much higher. That said, these 7 Series models compete in the top category of luxury sedans. You can pay much more for prestige with a Bentley or Rolls-Royce label, but you won't necessarily get a better car. For 1%ers not strung out on SUVs, the new 760i offers comfort, capability, and class. What more do you want in a fancy chariot?